Have you ever heard of a billionaire in Singapore who refuses to move a single green pot on his balcony because every time he tried, the market dipped the very next day? Strange, maybe, but in the world of the wealthy, nothing green is ever just a plant. Have you ever stepped into someone's home and felt instantly calm, though you couldn't explain why? Or stood in a kitchen that looked perfect, but felt strangely tired? Maybe it's not the cabinets. Maybe it's the living energy, quietly rooted in the corner. Some say plants are just decoration. Others believe they are protectors of qi, living allies that shift the fortune of a home. And between those two beliefs, there is something worth listening to. In this video, you will discover 7 plants, quietly grown by the wealthy, to protect prosperity, nourish calm, and transform the qi of their homes, starting right in the kitchen. And by the end of this video, you may never look at your kitchen the same way again. Before we go further, leave a comment below. Which plant do you believe brings energy into your life? Your story might be the very sign someone else is waiting for. Do not be the last to discover what these quiet green guardians have done in kitchens from Bangkok to San Francisco. Let us open that conversation together. These are the 7 Feng Shui plants rich people quietly grow. And today, we will visit their stories. So now, let us step into the stillness and explore 7 Feng Shui plants rich people quietly grow for kitchen and balcony. Have you ever heard of a plant that makes millionaires nervous when it starts to droop? It's called Zmopolia. Most people know it as the ZZ plant, but in Feng Shui, it has another name. They call it the wealth anchor. Its thick, glossy leaves rise tall and quiet. They don't just decorate a room, they hold qi. This is a wood element plant, but its behavior feels like earth, steady, grounded, unshaken by chaos. It comes from the dry regions of East Africa, places like Kenya and Zimbabwe. It learned to store water deep in its roots, to wait, to survive without panic. In Feng Shui, it's seen as a living symbol of resilience, of wealth that takes time, but always arrives. It thrives in cities like Singapore, Manila, Kuala Lumpur, and Miami, even on temperate balconies, as long as the sun is soft and filtered. It asks for little, but it gives so much. Perfect for entrepreneurs, for families rebuilding, for anyone starting again. Zmopolia acts like a buffer. It absorbs energetic shocks, it protects you from financial slips, and strengthens your return over time. A hedge fund manager in Bonifacio Global City has one on his balcony. Floor 32. He calls it his silent stockbroker. But if you neglect it, if dust covers the leaves, or you hide it in a cold, forgotten corner, its qi begins to collapse. The leaves turn yellow, opportunities slow, money becomes hesitant. So how do you plant it with intention? Use a deep ceramic pot. Choose a color like matte black, warm brown, or forest green. Place just one plant, always on a southeast-facing balcony. Then, the secret touch. Add 5 clear quartz crystals at the base. They amplify the plant's stillness and help it hold earned qi for longer. Only water when the soil is dry. In warm climates, that means every 10 to 14 days. Once a month, wipe the leaves gently, a soft cloth, slightly damp, clear the dust, so the energy can breathe. Don't overwater. This plant remembers drought. It thrives by waiting. And never place it near strong air conditioning or cold drafts. This plant doesn't like to be rushed. It simply wants to be respected. Many people say the energy in their homes change. Less anxiety around bills, more focus on long-term planning, and a deeper peace with waiting. Because in wealth, As in nature, what roots deeply, holds longest. And now, as we step back from the balcony, and re-enter the quiet heart of the home, something else rises beside the stove. Round, silvery green, breathing softly. It's time we meet the next guardian. Gopersia Orboglia, the Qi harmonizer. Did you know there's a plant whose leaves rise and fall, not with the wind, but with time? It's called Gopersia Orboglia. Some still call it by its older name, Palea Orboglia, but in Feng Shui, it's known by another name, the Qi harmonizer. Its leaves are wide, soft, and silvery green, each one marked with gentle stripes. But these aren't just for beauty. They follow breath. At night, the leaves fold upward, like hands in quiet prayer. In the morning, they open again, as if helping the home exhale what no longer serves. In Feng Shui, this plant holds metal softened by wood. It blends structure with gentleness, clarity with grace. It calms fire energy in the kitchen, absorbs sharp words, and invites stillness into the room. That's why it often lives in the homes of healers, counselors, and chefs who understand the energy of space. Gopersia Orboglia comes from the Atlantic forest of Brazil. It grew beneath thick tropical canopies, where light was filtered, air stayed warm and damp, and water flowed freely through the earth. To thrive in your home, it needs soft light, gentle humidity, and steady care. It grows well in places like Vietnam, the Philippines, Singapore, or southern Florida. This plant is ideal for emotional transitions, retirement, caring for aging parents, grieving, or simply choosing a more grounded life. A well-known chef in Tagaytay keeps two in his kitchen, one by the stove, one by the altar. He says, they keep his thoughts clear when the heat rises. But if you ignore it, or place it in strong, direct sun, the leaves begin to curl, tight, like a closed hand. In Feng Shui, that's a quiet warning. Qi is turning inward, and so might your conversations. To grow it well, start with a wide ceramic pot. Make sure it drains easily. Place it near an east-facing window, but never in harsh light. And here's a sacred touch. Keep a small brass bell or a singing bowl nearby. Something round, something that holds soft sound. It amplifies the calm, clears the room gently, and aligns with the plant's rhythm. Mist the leaves every few days, not just for moisture, but to echo the mist of its forest home. Water when the top inch of soil begins to dry. Not too wet, not too dry. Use filtered, room temperature water. Its leaves are sensitive to hard minerals and cold air. Wipe the leaves once a week. Soft cloth, no polish, just enough to let energy move freely again. This isn't a plant you own. It's a plant you listen to. People say their kitchens grow quieter. Meals stretch longer, in the best way. Arguments soften. There's more listening, and a peace that settles, not loudly, but deeply. Some plants chase the sun, but this one teaches something else. To stay still long enough, to hear silence speak. But if what you need is a little more movement, a gentle nudge toward flow, circulation, and family warmth, then there's another green ally waiting by the window. Palea Pepperomi, the coin-leaved wealth magnet. Have you ever heard of a plant so beloved that it was passed hand to hand, house to house, like a silent blessing? That's the story of Palea Pepperomi, the coin-leaved magnet of quiet wealth. Its leaves are small and round, shaped perfectly like jade coins. Each one rises on a slender stem, reaching gently toward the light. But in Feng Shui, this plant isn't just charming, it's deeply symbolic. It belongs to the wood element, but it carries the soft side of growth. Not ambition, not domination, but flow. harmony, and shared opportunity, especially within families. This plant comes from Yunnan province in southern China. It became known to the world in the 1940s, when a Norwegian missionary brought it to Europe. And here's what makes it special. It wasn't sold, it was shared, friend to friend, home to home. That's its true chi, a quiet circulation of abundance without demand. It thrives in humid and mild climates, perfect for homes in Vietnam, the Philippines, Singapore, even southern Florida. Just a little morning sun, no harsh heat, and it stays joyful. It's especially powerful for those nurturing new beginnings, young couples, single mothers, anyone rebuilding the spirit of their home. Even in Beverly Hills, some estate managers place it near the kitchen window. They say it balances the energy between the helper and the homeowner. But here's a common mistake: letting the soil stay soggy, or placing the plant in hot, burning sun. When that happens, the leaves curl in on themselves, not to protect, but to hoard. And in Feng Shui, that signals something deeper: blocked fortune. So how do you activate its energy? Start with one healthy plant. Place it on a southeast-facing window. The kitchen or dining area is best. Use a terracotta or white ceramic pot, and beneath it, place one silver coin, face up. It's a simple act, but it invites wealth that stays. Not quick wins, but steady, nourishing support. Those who keep it say the shift is subtle, but real. Guests linger longer, family meals feel warmer, and income, especially around food, begins to flow again. It's a gentle presence, but don't be fooled by its size. In homes where energy moves freely, even the smallest leaf can change the current. Water only when the top inch of soil feels dry. Too much water is the #1 reason this plant loses energy. Rotate the pot once a week, so the leaves grow evenly and don't lean too far toward the light. Wipe the leaves gently every 10 days. A damp cloth is enough. This refreshes the plant's energy mirror. And if your home is dry, group it with other plants. It thrives on quiet companionship. When the roots start to coil, don't hesitate to repot. This plant shares best when it has room to grow. But what about spaces that need strength? Places where energy must stay steady, even through change. For that, you'll need a different kind of tree. Let me show you the one that billionaires keep on their sky-high balconies. Ficus Altoima, the wealth stabilizer. Did you know? In Thailand, some financial towers place a plant outside every corner office? Not for beauty, but to stabilize money flow. That plant is Ficus Altoima. Some call it the wealth stabilizer. You won't find it in flashy hotel lobbies, but if you step onto the balcony of a billionaire's sky home in Singapore or Manila, it's often there, tall, golden edge, quietly holding the air. In Feng Shui, this tree carries strong wood energy. Yang wood, the force of upright momentum, long-term vision, and prosperity that stays anchored. Its leaves are green, with subtle yellow margins. They mirror a life that grows, surrounded by clarity, no confusion, no chaos, just chi that knows where it's going, and stays where it belongs. Ficus Altoima is native to Southeast Asia. It was once a forest giant, part of the fig family, known for its deep roots and powerful energy fields. Today, it's been reborn as a houseplant. It loves warm, moist air, and filtered sun. Perfect for cities like Bangkok, Ho Chi Minh, Miami, or Cebu. It's ideal for entrepreneurs, for financial professionals, and for anyone shifting from a noisy, ground-level life to a calmer space high above. The energy this tree carries isn't fast. It's not flashy. It's disciplined. One American investor in Austin Texas, keeps 2 of them on his 30th floor balcony. He says, when the wind rises, they don't flutter, they anchor, just like his long-term stocks. But be careful, if you place it in direct sun, its leaves can burn. That burn symbolizes unstable gains, or sudden energy leaks. And if its roots sit too long in soggy soil, they rot, silently, just like plants without a true foundation. So how do you care for it with intention? Use just one plant, place it in a matte ceramic pot. Choose colors like deep green, terracotta, or charcoal gray. Set it on a balcony or near a window that faces southeast or east. Let the top inch of soil dry before watering again. And here's a quiet secret. Tuck a small brass coin beneath the pot, to invite gentle expansion and stable chi. People who grow it have noticed changes. Clients return, cash flow becomes steadier, and that strange drift in the home begins to stop. In a world that pushes us to rush, to earn more, to chase louder, Ficus Altoima reminds us of something else. True wealth doesn't rush, it roots. And now, as we leave this plant of quiet ambition, we turn to one that's even tougher. A sword-shaped guardian, built for moments of crisis. Let's talk about the snake plant, and why millionaires never place it by accident. Not all guardians wear armor. Some stand silently by the kitchen wall, softening fire, grounding wealth, and watching over generations. Its leaves stand tall, like swords of stillness, not flashy, not loud, but firm, steady, a quiet protector, rooted where fire meets life. This is Sansevieria trifasciata. Most people call it the snake plant. But in Feng Shui, it has another name, the shield of the kitchen. In classical Feng Shui, the kitchen is more than just a room. It's the mouth of prosperity, where food is made, where energy rises and flows, but also where qi can clash, and wealth can quietly slip away. That's where the snake plant belongs. Its sharp, upright leaves represent the metal element, strong, clear, protective. It helps balance the fire of cooking, and grounds the earth when energy feels scattered. Native to West Africa, this plant has traveled far. It now grows quietly in kitchens across Singapore, Miami, and Tokyo. It can take heat, survive in low light, and in the world of energy, it absorbs tension and releases calm. This plant is made for high-pressure lives. Entrepreneurs, single parents, retired elders, anyone whose kitchen holds more than meals. It holds decisions. It holds healing. In Manila, a real estate mogul once told me her secret. She places 3 snake plants along the back kitchen wall. One for protection, one for clarity, and one to keep bad money out. But placement matters. Never put the plant directly across from the stove. It can become too defensive and create tension in relationships. Don't trap it in sharp corners. It needs room to breathe. The best place? Near the kitchen entrance, or on a back balcony, especially if your stove faces north. Water lightly, never at night. Let the soil dry completely before watering again. Use a cactus mix or sandy potting blend. It likes fast drainage. Bright morning light is ideal, but it will also adapt to dim corners. Just don't overwater. That's its only enemy. Once a month, wipe the leaves gently, clear off dust, let the plant breathe, let it shine. And if you notice the leaf tips browning, it's not neglect, it's usually stress from too much care. Now here's a quiet secret. Bury a small silver coin under the soil, not for luck, but to attract blessing money. Not just income, but income that stays. People say they feel different when it's there, lighter while cooking, less drained at the end of the day, and somehow, more harmony during shared meals. Because not all protectors wear armor. Some just grow in silence, rooted in service. And when the protection is in place, perhaps it's time to welcome warmth. Let's meet the next guest. Aglaonema pink Anummani, the warm heart of the kitchen. Have you ever heard of a plant so pink that it was once believed to soften arguments between husband and wife? Just by sitting quietly in the kitchen? Some say it's just a superstition, but others swear, the moment this plant arrived, the air changed, the house felt warmer, and fortune moved a little faster. Its name is pink Anummani, a rare gem from the Aglaonema family. Favored by quiet millionaires, from Manila to Miami. But this isn't just a pretty plant, it's a chi harmonizer, a vessel of wealth energy, cloaked in soft beauty. In Feng Shui, pink isn't just a color, it carries the fire element, but softened by earth, it brings passion, wealth, and peace in relationships. Unlike other red-toned plants, pink Anummani doesn't overwhelm. It cools the flame, especially in kitchens, a place where energy can burn too hot. Botanically, it comes from Aglaonema commutatum, a tropical species native to Southeast Asia. It thrives in humid, warm climates, perfect for homes in Thailand, Vietnam, Florida, and the Philippines. So, who should grow it? Women entering a new life chapter. Entrepreneurs seeking softer momentum, couples restoring harmony in a sharp-edged home. A well-known restaurateur in Cebu keeps 2 pots by her kitchen door. She says guests linger longer, and business never slowed, even during a downturn. But even this beauty needs boundaries. Don't place it near a stove's open flame. Too much fire will disturb its balance. And never let its soil dry out completely. A wilting pink Anummani is said to signal fading luck. So where should you place it? Try the east or southeast kitchen windowsill. Let it catch soft morning light. Beside it, place a ceramic bowl, filled with tumbled rose quartz, to magnify peace and deepen emotional warmth. And here's a secret. On every full moon, wipe the leaves gently, and think of someone you love. This quiet practice is believed to release old energy and invite gentle blessings. What might you notice? Easier conversations, a kitchen that feels lighter, and in some homes, an unexpected gift, or an opportunity that arrives within days. Because sometimes, a plant doesn't just decorate a space, it rewrites the atmosphere completely. And speaking of energy that transforms, let's meet the next guardian, a plant once called the gatekeeper of stillness. Are you ready to discover the Podarpus? Did you know that in some temples in Kyoto, this tree was planted at the gate, not just for shade, but to filter energy? It was believed that only peaceful souls could walk beneath it without unease. Its name is Podarpus macrophyllus, but it goes by many names. In English, it's sometimes called the Buddhist pine, or the Japanese yew. In Japan, they call it kusumaki. In China, it's known as the arhat pine. As if even the enlightened would pause beneath its shade. In classical Feng Shui, this tree is believed to guard noble ambitions. Its upright branches reflect steady growth. Its dense, evergreen leaves shield fortune from drifting winds. It carries both wood and earth energy, resilient, grounded, the kind of vision that doesn't panic. Native to southern Japan and southeastern China, Podarpus thrives in warm climates. It grows well in cities like Hong Kong, Seoul, and Singapore, even parts of Florida and southern Europe. But here's something most people forget. In the wild, this tree grows tall, sometimes over 10 meters. So if you want to bring it onto your balcony, choose the bonsai version, a small cultivar. carefully pruned, not just to save space, but to balance energy. Because if the tree is too large, it can disrupt the flow of vertical qi, especially in high-rise homes. So who should welcome this guardian tree? Anyone going through a big transition, moving, retiring, starting a business. Families who need mental clarity, and especially those who feel their dreams need quiet protection. In Hong Kong, a reclusive investor is said to have 5 Podarpus bonsai, all facing the harbor, one for each grandchild's future. In Singapore's Sentosa Cove, an entrepreneur whispers a wish every morning at dawn as she mists her bonsai with care. But here's a quiet warning: letting the leaves turn yellow, or trimming it too harshly, can symbolize a loss of direction. And placing it in a crowded space can stifle its presence, instead of supporting yours. So what's the right way to plant with intention? Use 1 or 3 plants, always in odd numbers. Choose tall ceramic pots in earth tones, and place them toward the east or southeast. Set them near the edge of your balcony, where the sky meets your quiet intention. And here's the secret: once a month, place a coin at the base of the pot. Leave it overnight. Remove it at sunrise. It's a symbolic exchange between your home's qi and the rhythm of the universe. Podarpus doesn't ask for much. It doesn't demand the spotlight. It simply stands there, holding the line between chaos and clarity, between ambition and rest. So now, let me ask you, what kind of wisdom is standing quietly at your threshold? Of all the things we place inside a home, nothing feels as quietly alive as a plant. It doesn't speak, but it listens to everything. It listens to your pace, your pauses, the weight of silence between your steps. Maybe you came here looking for wealth, but what if the true treasure is the stillness now growing inside you? That small shift in how you see your space, in how you feel energy, not as a superstition, but as a conversation already happening. These 7 plants are not decorations. They are thresholds. And if something in you feels called, not to change the world, but to realign your little corner of it, then that is more than enough. Leave a comment, not just to speak, but to declare your shift. Because your insight may be the light someone else is waiting for. The path is open now, and the next step is yours.